right, guys, welcome to The Pulse. This is the first time we've been back in the studio for a while, and I'm glad because we've got great guests who have done a lot of different things. I want to get right to the discussion. We've got Philly guy, comedian, actor, friend of the station, Mr. Chuck Nice. Welcome to The Pulse.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
And astrophysicist, TV host, podcast, the Hayden Planetarium.
Director
Of
the Hayden Planetarium.
Okay. Director of the Hayden
Why you
Planetarium.
gotta correct the man? Let the man introduce.
Hey, listen, man.
his
You
own
gotta
show.
listen. I know it's his show, but you gotta get the credits right, man.
He's not wrong.
You know,
He's not wrong.
it ain't like you're not a greeter at the Hayden Planetarium. Welcome to the planetarium.
Right.
Like
He's been to the Hayden Planetarium.
I've heard of the Hayden Planetarium.
right.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Well, thank you. And
Appreciate you
you
guys
prompted
coming
me just before we went live for me to say, welcome to The Pulse with Bill Anderson.
I like it.
Nice.
I like
That's
it.
my planetarium voice.
Yeah, well,
That's how that works.
Now you got to sign a release that says they can't just make that the new voice of the show. You know that, right? Because now you're gonna end up like what was the guy's name? The black guy on CNN.
Yeah.
This is CNN.
No, this is CNN.
Wow, nice.
Right, yeah.
Who is that?
That's Darth Vader. That's
right?
Darth Vader, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And they just took it.
No.
Took it. Rolled with it.
Yeah, because there was a deleted scene in Star Wars where he said, "This is CNN."
So as I was saying,
Bill, delight to meet you. Thank you for having
It
us
is my pleasure.
on your show.
But I was saying before we started that I had no idea how this was going to go. We normally just sit down and talk, but because you guys do that anyway and have hit shows and podcasts and touring, I kind of felt like I might be the guy who's sitting in on your show.
You're the odd man out.
Right?
What do we need you to? We don't need
Exactly,
him.
right. Yeah, we said, all right, welcome to Star Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
As long as y'all keep talking, then I can go ahead and go. I
No,
got
we
some
good.
errands
We
to
good.
run.
No.
We good.
And we're going to run through all of it. But what we do when we start here, and we can go with both of you, with people who have accomplished so much and are doing so many things.
That would be Neil.
I would. You too. You too.
I
man.
try
You
myself.
got like
Listen,
20 years
I
in the
try never to be in the same comparison category. Like the people say, Neil, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and then they're going to give you 5 pages of accomplishments, right? 30 books that have been authored, right? The many, many television shows that have been hosted, right? The speakers tour, the director of the Hayden Planetarium, and then there his co-host Chuck Nice, and it's like he tells jokes about his like. Okay, so yeah.
Now imagine for a second how I'm feeling right now. Because you just talked about feeling that way sitting next to him, but I'm sitting next to both of you. And I don't have 20 years in the game and comedian and actor or whatever. So let's hype us all up.
It's very easy to say that when you are Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Isn't that funny how it works out? Isn't it funny how it works out?
I feel the same
way. Right. It's like, I
don't.
don't want people to listen to me because of my pedigree, right? Because when your pedigree is, yo, I'm Charlie, I got some stuff to say. I sit at the end of the bar, right?
No, I would listen to Charlie. See, this is my point. I'd give Charlie some audience.
The truth is, you would see.
I would.
That's why people relate.
That's true.
why
I would
people are-
so find out what Charlie had to say.
He's that guy. He is the guy that would actually sit and talk to Charlie and then say, well, Charlie, have you ever considered this? Right? That's because I've seen it happen. I've seen it.
How did this happen? Like, I know the history, but you guys, how did you come together, this pairing?
You know, Neil came up with the concept to have the cosmos and comedians come together as a means of reaching the masses, right? And they got this grant, from what I understand.
Yeah, from the National Science Foundation. Yeah,
Right.
to
So they
test the idea that science can be a commercial product,
Right.
and not just something you have to beg for money every quarter to try to support as a radio show. Right.
Right. Brilliant idea. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I got a call from this person, and I thought it was my friend Carlos making fun of me because I was a fan. And it was like, oh, do you know Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson? I was like, yes, Carlos, I know Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he would like you to come into his office and speak for that. And I was like, yeah, right.
Stop playing.
So then we said, well, how do we know what best humor would work? So those conversations I had with many comedians, and we're really testing the chemistry. Is this, do I want a comedian that just has one-liners? No. I want someone who's smart, who can see the science, see the pop culture, and reveal what might be humorous about that in ways that releases that burden from me. I think I can occasionally be funny, but if I have a professionally funny person, I can stick with the science.
When you hear that in theory, and that discussion comes up, and we're going to take science and try to make it funny and come together, and everybody will really like that show. Did you even believe that? I mean, I'm sitting there like, because it works. I mean, we now.
No. Okay. I knew it would work because I was already doing it.
Yeah.
In my in my public lectures.
Yeah.
What I found was, I'd be on an airplane. Before I was widely known, you're sitting next to someone in the airport. What do you do? I'm an astrophysicist. They start asking questions, and I'd monitor how bright were their eyes and their eyebrows when I give an answer. Yeah. And depending on what the answer was, they would look a little less interested. They'd look a little more. And if I linked the universe to pop culture, something that they already knew, because what is pop culture? I don't have to explain pop culture to them. By definition, that's what pop culture is.
And Neil is funny, which, by the way, people, when you meet me, don't tell me how funny Neil is. Okay? I'm just letting you know. I can't tell you how many people are just like, oh, man, I love you guys. Neil is really funny. I'm like, shut the hell up.
That's my job on the show.
What talking about, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Tell me how smart
ain't
he
nobody coming to him like, yo, I love your show with Chuck. That guy's brilliant. And that's just not happening, right?
Next on The Pulse, the fun with Neil deGrasse Tyson and Chuck Nice continues.
There's so many people in the world. Might there be a day where we run out of souls? And I thought, whoa. I said, whoa.
Yes, and does the stork actually bring babies?
Welcome back to The Pulse. Today, spending some time with comedian Chuck Nice, astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let's keep the conversation going. So you guys have almost tricked people into caring about science.
We thought initially, and it's still partly true, that we'd get celebrities on, okay, and interview celebrities. No matter what makes them a celebrity, a singer, actor, didn't matter. We would find science that touched their lives and then analyze that science. And so you would come for the celebrity, but you'd end up staying for the science and the humor. David Crosby.
Katie, what's her face?
What do you mean, Katie, what's her face?
Katie, what's her face? She's beautiful and she sings. Oh, God, I'm so old.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
What's her name?
No.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
She was on the show.
Yeah.
But it turned... So here it is.
So she was on the show.
What happened was...
No, here's what happened. What happened was... So we have to find a science angle. Right. So it turned out one of her songs, she wrote about amorous emotions she felt for an alien who landed. I thought, I can make something out of that.
Very Captain Kirk. Very.
But you have to be a certain kind of person to make something out of it.
Well, she composed the song. No.
Some of us watching are still Googling the word you use.
Well,
it's like she did amorous. She wrote a song.
She wrote a song where she wanted to bone an alien, right? So it was.
Now I get it.
Oh, now you get it.
Now I get it.
Okay, sorry.
Make it plain.
Okay.
Chuck, you didn't know how to tell me how to translate for this man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That's why we're all here together.
No, so we talked about aliens and DNA. Is it just a Earth thing, or what would encode the identity of an alien? So, but she had a youthful curiosity about all that she didn't know. Mm-hmm. And as an educator, I can only respond with joy in the presence of such eager inquisitiveness about all the world that surrounds her. And so she even asked a question. She said, there's so many people in the world. Might there be a day where we run out of souls? And I thought, whoa. I said, whoa.
Yes, and does the stork actually bring the babies? Does it? Because it doesn't look like it's strong enough to carry a baby.
Chuck, this was an honestly posed question.
It is.
It was completely honest.
Next on The Pulse, just having a good time. It continues.
And methane, you know, is flammable. This is what started the old camp rumor. Let's light your farts. Okay?
That's not a rumor.
No.
Okay. That's science. I was watching clips and watching the show and listening to the podcast or whatever. And no matter what question is presented, there is kind of a way that you find the answer to.
Thank you for recognizing that's an
it.
important dimension of this. And we learned that the question from the public to get an authentic answer, even if the question's a little offbeat, has become a, I don't want to call it a spin-off, it's one of the formats of what we do in the show. It's called Cosmic Queries. And I'm delighted because I'd like to believe, however delusionally, that we are, through Star Talk, through Chuck's humor, through what we piece together here, that we are fanning long dormant embers of curiosity within you that may have lurked since childhood, but you forgot they're there. And when you fan an ember, you can ignite it once again.
I watched a couple times, and your reaction when you were explaining things, your reaction was exactly what I was doing looking at the screen. You know, so I'm going, oh. but you get the follow-up question. Any just question that was too ridiculous for you two to address?
Well, no, I thought it was ridiculous, and Neil turned it into weird. I don't know how, but the question became, it turned into Superman's flatulence.
Oh, no, the question was,
What was
no,
the
the question was, thanks for asking, I forgot all about it. The question was, if Superman is super in every way, then is his digestive system super? Does he need super food to feed his super body? And that got us talking about the digestive system. And that led to an exchange that to this day, I can't watch it without tearing up laughing. Everything in your gut is anaerobic. It has multiple gaseous byproducts, one of which is methane. It comes out both ends, especially in cows. Okay, so this is, and methane, you know, is flammable. This is what started the old camp rumor. Let's light your farts. Okay?
That's not a rumor.
No.
Okay. That's science.
That's totally.
Teach you a little science.
The idea that one would want to do that has authentic chemical thermodynamic causes. Okay. So if Superman had super food, that means he has super digestive tract, which means he'd have super gases coming out his rear end. And then Chuck took over. Chuck couldn't stop.
No, I thought it was hilarious.
No, that was the end of my answer. But apparently Chuck was not done.
Nope. And then I just imagined Superman with one of those like onesies on, because he's almost wearing a onesie anyway, except it has the button, 2 buttons right where the butt is. You know? And then he takes down that flap.
And it rolls down the drawer. And he looks back,
right? You know, so
it's a built-in flamethrower.
Right.
So
take that, Mr. Freeze.
He got a new weapon.
To Mr. Freeze, that would totally take out Mr. Freeze. So it's a new weapon in Superman's arsenal. The point is, science is so rich in what it touches that almost any question can be addressed scientifically in a serious enough way so you can still learn some science, some chemistry, biology.
There's a weird line between science and opinion, and people trying to act as if their opinion is science. And you, as a comedian, address it. You, as astrophysicist, and
don't get me started.
Well, but I think, but it's real. Like, I wonder how frustrating it is for both of you in doing the show.
It's more frustrating for Neil.
Okay, because we do
because
live in my opinion is more important than science.
Right. So he and all of his ilk, they refuse to call people stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
Me, you are a dumb. That's what your problem is, that you believe that because you feel a certain way, that that's what it is.
It's my duty as an educator to figure out a way to not call someone a dumbass, but give them a path of thinking where they can dig out of this hole that they put themselves in, or the YouTube thread put them in, or their people they hang out with.
Or Joe Rogan.
So I'll say something like,
We keep it real.
I'd say something like, if you overate this week and you're a few pounds heavier, you cannot protest the law of gravity and object to its effect on your body, because the nature is the ultimate judge, jury, and executioner, and it is not subject to your opinion. And if I give enough other examples, there's a chance you can pull them away into a centerline point. Here's one.
See, what I do is go, good luck, dumbass.
Some people out there who are pretty sure we've never went to the moon.
Right.
Okay.
I actually had that down on my list of questions people asked me to ask.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
So I have two responses to that. One of them is kind of fun, tongue-in-cheek, okay? So I'll give them both, okay? So the first tongue-in-cheek one is, okay, NASA, in fact, wanted to fake the moon landing. So they got Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to agree to fake it, okay? But then they got some set designers and others from Hollywood, and they said, you know, in order to fake this the best way, we should film this on location. And so NASA said, okay, we'll fake it on location. And so they went to the moon to
to fake the moon landing. That's great.
That's all right.
Now, let me tell you something.
What?
See that answer right there? It is clever, and it may be impactful.
Right.
But really, what he said was, why are you such a dumb?
And if you're going to fake the moon landing, you'd have to fake hundreds of thousands of pages of engineering drawings and all the experimental tests and all. You have to fake all of that. And I'm saying that's harder than just going to the moon.
My brother wants to know about extraterrestrials, and he wanted me to ask you directly about the existence of them.
I'm not authorized to comment further on that question. The next question.
The government told me.
Moving on to the next question.
Next question. No. No, what does he want to know?
Do you, I mean, you've already said, but do you believe that they exist? And then part of it
sure.
is...
I mean, yeah, definitely. So life on Earth is opportunistically comprised of the most common ingredients in the universe. Life on Earth got started almost as soon as it possibly could have, based on the fossil record. So whatever challenges we have creating life in the lab, Earth had no such challenges. The universe is old. It's 3 times older than our solar system. So if you're going to run around and say, we're the only life in the universe, you have no foundation other than your unjustified ego on which to base that assumption. You want to know who we've been visited? I would ask, and is the government like somehow
Covering it up.
Do you really think the government is that competent? Just think this through.
That they could hide an alien landing. My answer is dinosaurs are from another planet, and now they're not here. So, no.
Okay. This is called Chuck logic. Chuck.
Come on, that was funny, because that's how people. This is the kind of. That's my point. Is this is the kind of logic that people use to connect dots that aren't connectable.
The concept of all the things we've seen in the movies, Armageddon. There's always the global ender that we keep talking about. It's a basis for every movie that's out there.
No. That's not the basis for. You know what the basis of every one of those disaster movies is?
What's that?
Okay, they begin by government officials ignoring the advice of scientists. Every one of those movies begins that way.
And by the way, not to be too serious here, but we're living that movie right now, people.
Yes.
We are literally
People.
living that movie
People.
right
Yeah, okay.
now.
It's a true story, though. They do ignore all the advice.
Right. Plus, Armageddon, by my measure, violated more laws of physics per minute than any other film ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
Bruce Willis can't just drill? That's not real.
Drill, Brucey, drill.
Like, put down your drink. You got to go to space right quick.
Plus, I'm thinking it'd be easier to train astronauts to drill than to train oil drillers to be astronauts. I'm just thinking. That's just. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking.
Gentlemen, this has been a pleasure. I appreciate you guys spending time with us.
Oh, thanks for the show.
The Pulse.
The Pulse.
You guys get closing words. I'm going to start closing words. We try to give people a message, inspiration, or just something funny, whatever you want to do.
You know, I'm going to give you a message.
By the way, he gave you latitude to not be funny.
Yeah. So here's my message. Good luck, dumb. No, I'm joking. Here's my message.
You know we're going to edit.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I know. That's going to be the end of it.
Right? Roll credit.
No, climate change is real. Do something about it. That's all I have to say.
In life and in the universe, it is always best to keep looking up.
So that was just fun. I didn't know that somebody could take science and make it that enjoyable and provide that much information. I enjoyed that, and I really hope that you did as well. And remember, if you're looking for more, this is definitely a podcast that you're going to want to go listen to and download. You can get it all places where podcasts are available. And remember, we'll be back to do it again the same time next week. Until then, whenever you can, use your voice for good and have a good one.